Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into the subtle yet telling signs that an introvert likes you. Okay, so you're crushing on someone and they seem kind of shy, kind of quiet. How do you know if they're actually into you? Trust me, figuring out if someone likes you is hard enough. But when they're an introvert, it's like a whole other level of mystery. But don't worry, I got you. We're gonna decode those secret signals together. Let's get started. First things first, introverts are all about that solo time. Like, it's their jam, their happy place, their everything. So if an introvert is consistently making an effort to hang out with you, it's a big deal. And I'm not just talking about like accidentally bumping into each other at the coffee shop. I'm talking about actually planning things together, even if it's just chilling at home watching Netflix. If they're willing to sacrifice some of their precious alone time for you, that's a sign they're really feeling you. Next up, let's talk about vulnerability. Introverts are usually pretty private people, so if they're opening up to you about personal stuff, it means they trust you like a lot. We're talking about sharing their thoughts, their feelings, their dreams, their fears, all that deep stuff. They're basically giving you a glimpse into their soul, which is a huge compliment. So if your introvert crush starts spilling the tea, it's a good sign they see you as someone they can be vulnerable with. Okay, this one might seem obvious, but hear me out. Everyone listens, right? But introverts, they take listening to a whole other level. Like, they're not just waiting for their turn to talk. They're actually present in the conversation, paying attention to every word you say, and probably remembering it later too. They'll make eye contact, maybe. They'll nod along, they'll ask follow-up questions. It's like they're genuinely interested in what you have to say, which, let's be real, is pretty rare these days. Remember that time you mentioned you loved green Skittles? Or that you had a weird obsession with collecting vintage buttons? Yeah, most people probably wouldn't, but an introvert who likes you, they remember that stuff. They pay attention to the little things you say and do, and they store it all away in their brain like it's precious treasure. So if your crush surprises you with a bag of green Skittles or like a vintage button keychain, you know they're totally smitten. Okay, let's be real. Introverts aren't exactly known for being the most outgoing people in the room. They'd much rather blend into the background and observe from afar. So if an introvert is consistently initiating conversations with you, whether it's texting you first, approaching you in person, or sliding into your DMs, it means they're making an effort to connect with you, which is a big freaking deal. This next sign is all about sharing, and I'm not just talking about your fries, although sharing food is definitely a good sign. I'm talking about sharing their interests with you. Introverts are passionate people, but they're also very selective about who they share those passions with. So if they're inviting you to join their D&D campaign, taking you to their favorite indie record store, or showing you their collection of like rare succulents or something, it means they see you as someone they can be their true, authentic selves around. Okay, this one can be a little tricky because eye contact can be a struggle for some introverts. It can feel super intense and vulnerable, like you're staring straight into their soul, which you kind of are. But if your introvert crush is making an effort to hold your gaze, even if it's just for a few seconds longer than usual, it means they're comfortable with you and they want to connect on a deeper level. Let's be real. Everyone gets a little nervous around their crush, right? But for introverts, nervousness can be amplified times 1,000. Their palms might get sweaty, their voice might crack, they might trip over their words, or they might just turn bright red and start babbling about their cat. It's all good. It just means they care about what you think of them, which is pretty darn cute. Introverts are independent thinkers, so they don't just ask for anyone's opinion. But if they're constantly seeking out your thoughts and advice, whether it's on something as small as what to wear to a party, or as big as a major life decision, it means they value your perspective and they trust your judgment. They see you as someone they can confide in and rely on, which is a sign of a strong connection. Last but not least, let's talk about comfort zones. Introverts are all about their routines and familiar surroundings. So if they're willing to step outside their comfort zone for you, whether it's trying a new restaurant, going to a crowded concert, or even just staying up past their bedtime to talk to you, it means you're pretty darn special. They're willing to face their fears and embrace new experiences just to be with you, which is a major sign of love, or at least a major crush. Thanks for watching. I hope this video helped you decode some of those confusing introvert signals. Remember, these are just a few signs to look out for, and every introvert is different. The most important thing is to pay attention to how they make you feel. If you enjoy their company and you feel a connection, go for it. The worst that can happen is they say no and you move on. But hey, maybe, just maybe, you'll discover that your introvert crush has been crushing on you all along. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more content. See you next time.